Khulu, thanks so much for your time. So negotiations with workers have obviously not been successful. Question is, where to from here?
Well, the next round of meeting or for these discussions is at the CCMA. All of us are waiting for the CCMA to give us a date where we can go and have this matter hopefully ventilated and resolved amicably.
Right. So then what does that mean for your ability to keep the lights on until that meeting happens?
Well, at a technical level, we had made all the necessary preparations to make sure that we keep the system running to ensure security of power supply. But we unfortunately are beginning to experience what management would call acts of sabotage, where our own people go into our power station and switch off the machines there, which is why we are currently having load shedding. It's a very unfortunate situation, and it means that for as long as this matter has not been resolved, we are likely to continue to have this kind of incident.
And what are you hoping to achieve at the CCMA, Khulu?
Well, all parties, when they go there, they are hoping that there will be an amicable resolution of the issue. So Eskom has said on the record yesterday that it's willing to renegotiate its position, and therefore the expectation is that all parties, when they do go there to the CCMA, it's going to be a matter of give and take. So, but at this stage, we will have to wait and see as to what ultimately is going to transpire there. But from our end, and also through the Minister of Public Enterprises as our shareholder, we want to have this matter resolved as soon as possible. And we are hoping that the CCMA, hopefully over the weekend, will give us a date so that possibly sometime early next week we could sit down and resolve this matter as soon as possible.
And Khulu, I mean, you are well aware of your company's books. Is there any way at all that Eskom can move from the 0% or the salary freeze right now, just to ensure that workers at least get some form of increase to keep up, with inflation, and also to ensure that the economy is not brought to a halt as a result of this labor action?
Well, ideally, our employees actually should be getting bonuses and salary increases, because many of them have actually worked very hard over the last 3 years when we were able to continue and operate without load shedding. But unfortunately, management is saying that over that period, we actually have not been able to increase our sales volume, meaning that our revenue has remained stagnant and our costs have increased at the same time. Just to give you a context, our coal costs for 2017 alone had risen by 15%, which is just less than 100 billion rand. And our staff costs have also increased to just less than 30 billion rand. And we also have issues with the costs, especially in terms of our capex, which is for Medupi and Kusile, where on average we've been spending around 60 billion rand per annum for those two projects. So all of these things are having a bearing on Eskom's net bottom line, while at the same time our revenue has not been increasing. Actually, to tell you, over the last 10 years, our revenue has been sort of stagnant at about 1%. It was only last year where actually it slid down even worse to 0.2%. So when you have your costs going up, but your revenue remaining stagnant, clearly there's a big problem there, and that's why management has not been able to offer any bonuses and salary adjustments.
Khulu, just a last one. What is Eskom's response to the decision from NERSA to only grant it half of the monies that it was looking for?
Well, for now at least, we have noted what the regulator has said. We will make pronouncements on this after the regulator has issued its record of decision. The regulator says they are going to issue that report at the end of September. So we'll have to wait until we have read that document before we make any pronouncements.